And then you want to YouTube James Gilliland, ESETI 2010 Part 1 WMV. And he goes over a lot of important stuff there. And that video will speak for itself. And then you want to YouTube Extraterrestrial Life and World Government Policies, Michael Salla. Michael Salla is the creator of the Exopolitics Institute, and he is an excellent source for information, an expert in world peace, and an expert in a lot of things, an extremely expanded consciousness, and the extraterrestrials love Michael Salla. So that is an excellent source of information. And at the Exopolitics Institute, all of Michael Salla's instructors are awesome instructors. They're honest, courageous. Everything about the Exopolitics Institute is good. And I'll be talking more about that later in the creation. And then you also want to understand the parallel incarnation chart, or a pin chart. And you can see that at www.bashar.org, and then punch in pin chart, and basically what you're going to see is a chart of consciousness, and how, and that'll give you a very good idea on reincarnation, the mechanics of reincarnation, and you'll be able to actually see on the chart when you tap into another dimension or a higher dimension, where on this chart are you communicating with, and you'll be able to pinpoint on that chart higher levels of existence that you'll be communicating with. And then, in regards to extraterrestrial contact, on this link right here, I'll be getting in further on exactly what you can do to train your mind and to communicate with specific extraterrestrial races and specific collective consciousness out in the universe. So I'm really excited to see if the human race runs with that, and I hope that they do, because that would be a really spectacular thing. And that's it as far as extraterrestrial contact for now. The next thing is you would want to be willing and able to take full responsibility for your actions at a telepathic level. Because basically what happens when you die, you are held to a telepathic standard. You know, you're going to be dealing with beings, an entire entourage of beings, who've seen and know everything you've ever done. And you have to take responsibility for that in order to say, okay, I've done what I'm supposed to do on this life. You know, I'm ready to move up to a higher level of existence. Well, if you have spent your life hurting other people or doing something that ultimately doesn't benefit anybody and ultimately hurts other people, then that's a measure of you know, not having the compassion necessary for a higher dimension, or not having the intelligence or the courage necessary to exist in a higher dimension. And while being here in the physical, you just want to understand that there are no secrets, and at the end of this, your physical life, you never die, but at the end of this physical life, you need to be able to take responsibility for your actions. So you just want to make sure you can do that, so that you can just move up and move on. And that's why it's so important to question authority, because the authority, or a lot of times the only thing that money pays for is, you know, they pay you to shoot yourself in the foot, but they don't pay you to help with poverty. You know, it's It's a big problem. But luckily, fortunately for me, using nothing but the truth, it can be fixed with common sense. So, that's good. And then the next part of a level 2 saint is you would have to require honesty from those leading you. So basically, if someone wants to be in charge with you, or you want to be taking your cues from someone else, fine. But that being would be required to be honest with you. And I would not recommend doing that until the day of the shift, when everybody does it. The day you require honesty from your boss, we want to do this on a planetary scale, or it's going to be chaos, and we don't need chaos. And that's it for that. The next thing is you want to acknowledge the fact that you have access to a higher self or higher mind and guardian angels. And that'll become clear in the process of this course, especially when this website gets done. Then your angels appear right on the screen. Then it'll be real clear you have an angel, because you'll be able to see them. So, but for now, you want to YouTube Dronvala Melchizedek, Connecting with Your Higher Self, and that's an excellent video, and he goes a lot into connecting with your higher self and angels and things like that. And then the last thing in regards to a level 2 saint is you need to acknowledge and understand the existence of indigo children and starseeds, because most of the children being born on this planet right now are indigo children and starseeds. They are actually extraterrestrials who are incarnating into human form and have abilities and knowledge that far, far surpass most of humanity. And when you are, if you do not acknowledge the fact that these indigo children and starseeds exist, then then we cannot benefit from the reasons why they're here. And what we want to do is benefit from why they're here. And if they, which is going to be tough for some people to take, because you're going to have a 5-year-old that's going to be, know more about you, know more than you, and if you're a scientist taking your cues from a 5-year-old, you have to, swallow your pride a little bit there. But the fact of the matter is these magical children do exist, and they're here, and acknowledging that and knowing how to benefit from these beings and putting indigo children in a position where they can really truly thrive is not common to the human race. So that's important to acknowledge. So you want to YouTube Project Camelot interviews Jessica, a crystal child speaks out, and that is an indigo child, and she's I'm not sure, she called herself a crystal child, but and a lot of these things, I'm just if it's crystal, indigo, starseed, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm keeping this very simple and I'm not that intelligent, it's all the same thing. It's just a little child who basically came from an extraterrestrial strain of consciousness, and they got superpowers. So YouTube Project Camelot interviews Jessica, a crystal child speaks out, and that's a good example of an indigo child. And then you want to YouTube Dolores Cannon, the 3 waves of volunteers and the New Earth. And Dolores Cannon does an excellent job on going over how that phenomenon works. And that's it for level 2 Saint. That's the information that you should be exposed to. And that's what you need to know. And then a level 2 saint would pay $10,000 a week. That's what, unless you disagree with that. I think if you can understand and know all that, you should be making $10,000 a week. So, so that's level 2. The next video will be in regards to what it takes to be a level 3 saint. And thank you, and I look forward to serving you on the next video.